No thief in Thailand, and I will read the introduction. No book thieves in Thailand. I wish there were kids pulling books to borrow them, and I wish there was a waiting list. I wish they would sneak into posh bookshops for a quick read. Or at the very least, I wish there was a book thief. These poems are all written in Phuket, Thailand, in middle of 2017 AD. They aim to describe the different interesting experiences you'll have if you teach there. These are not educational poems. Some might not even be suitable for children. Like any other country, the education system here is different. And whilst our school had a big library and earnest readers, there were never enough there. However, it is not just the place, but it's also the time. In the new millennium, students are more online than inline. This is true around the world. In a philosophy, time to read. Not all poems are about Thailand, but all of them are written in Thailand, sometimes about places far, far away, sometimes about people dead and gone. Count the beads on the Buddhist prayers in a time when mom still lived and sensibility was stronger than art and poetic license. Now life is a Lego game, and I do care, but not very often. We take pictures of an ancient town and we ourselves remember how love was the greatest thing on our minds. The weather was rains and we kissed in our teens. Your pink lips had a Nivea gloss and that lovely nose on your face. Specific lights were dark in the staircase that went round and round like a barrel, and my guitarist had a voice of a cigarette smoker. We dream of Michael Jackson's European tour. Do you remember? The time when we made those songs on the terrace and she stood at the well. Do you remember the night on your windows, pretty dark out, and we were lost in love? 6:04 a.m. At the beach, the sea is blue, an American film, stretched like a noir movie, and pale and blonde. The wind will be jumpy in Langkawi, fragmented, purple like an 80s Prince song, and seagulls. The museum loves old black and white camera. When popcorn is gone, the picture has an azure tint. She marries him in her dreams, and there is darkness, like midnight, and black like her silky dress. The art of Berlin, concrete, the pomegranates are sweet, fading on water's edge, kissing a rosy bridge from waves. Love is upside down, balanced on the angle of laughter. Love's the mirror in the sky, a night wheel, a frame. It rains, it storms, it warns, it bleeds, it loves, it hates. Oh, you nights are interesting and tears are real. Wow. 3:35 a.m. Hatyai is quiet despite Ramazan. The dogs do not bother. They are Asian trained, I suppose. It costs 35B for 3 hours. This is my paradise. They sell lays. They sell iced tea. The guy knows me gives me a friendly smile. School kids are nosy, at least they are not smoking. In Cebu, this would have been a fog. In Hong Kong, worse. This is my favorite part of the run. Voulez-vous in Nelson's house. The sun was soft as it is today, here in Thailand, and golden. Memories are always golden. The sparrows sung in a cooling November. I wanted to hear some serious ABBA, and Nelson had some golden old songs. Don Bosco was a school of caliber. Some of our teachers spoke excellent English. Miss Clara even asked us if we could write poetry. She hated me. I had not done homework at home in last 5 years, often doing it at school or on the school wall surrounded by leaves and trees. I jumped in and out using the wall. It was a fun thing to do. I first heard Funky Town, or was it Boney M? Rocky sang you, Rocky sang, You Drive Me Crazy. A good 3 years before I sang Jailhouse Rock in a suit. That September, I became the best boy from being the worst kid. Miss Clara gave me a thumbs up. Father Dominic thought I was a superstar. He never called my parents again. Oh, that was the time I first heard ABBA, and the song was mesmerizing. I like these poems, they're very, very good poems. No thief, no book thieves in Thailand. Very interesting, very interesting. Because there was one which had some old poetry from the 90s and it was really bad. I have a suggestion to make to Kulin. You can just call it bad poetry and sell it at that. I think that sometimes when you are very honest, it is a selling point. You're selling bad poetry. It's an idea. I would consider it. I'm going to tell this to Kulin Shah, the guy who publishes for Sonil Verma, and ask him if he can ask and change some of the names to more funky names that would catch attention. I could have a book called Bad Poetry, Really Bad Poetry, etc. Because there is a book that is about a green book and God knows why it is published here. That's a title. Very bad poetry, something like that. I think that there are some interesting titles, there are some interesting pictures, and some poetry is really, really good. And some poetry is written in Victorian style and very outdated, oversimplistic, and you can call it that, oversimplistic, bad rhyming poetry. I think that would really, because right now it's called longing evenings and something like that, and it's pretty bad. Let me give you an example. I will just have to find it. You have to bear with me. And it says long evenings and yeah, long evenings and what have you. Yes, I can't find it. Maybe I have deleted it. And there were some very, very bad poems in that long evenings. And I think that it's time you said that it was bad poetry so they would know that you thought it was bad poetry. It's called Love, Longing and Long Evenings. I like the name. And then it goes on to say, dedicated to my friend Bhavin Visavadia, who stood by me through a painful phase of my life. Both books, Popcorn Poetry and Longing, are interesting Written in 90s, influenced by Victorian poetry, it was an era of poetic license, rhyme and rhythm, and blatant pinning, as in maybe adding ing. In an era when dates were titles and love was the most important thing in the world, I've kept it as close to the original. In fact, published it mostly unchanged except checking a few spellings, ensuring the space is after the colon, and removing proper nouns. So let's see what happens. The Eves Without You, 4th October 1992. The first time I saw you, you were standing within the sea, as moonlight was streaming down on ye. You were singing, I fell in love, but honest to God, I didn't know how. Your birthday at the PDP, the dinner at New Yorkers, our morning walks, our evening tea, and one day I proposed. You didn't want to think. My love and friendship yours. Life goes on, but love grows. The eves with you are exotic. Not all affections are platonic. The rains burning us in and out. Sunsets of gold and skies, red and black. Red clouds and golden goodbyes. We have an attachment. Neither friendship nor love. Tug of war. Pulls in separate directions. Eternal confusion. You fill my life with warmth. Just can't keep my hands off. My silence intrigued you. I broke down one evening. You pulled me out of the gloom. Cry alone you did not want me to. We met at the temple, went for the longest drive. The city, the beach before us stretched. The idea of love far-fetched. We parked beyond the beach. The policeman didn't seem to like the idea. I like this part. Pay off $1 and rupees 10. The silent walk hand in hand. In darkness and on good scent. 8th, 6th and 8th, 6th and 10th Road. Jamnabai Nursery and Temple of the Sun. The bunked stats and music lesson. It says states here, but it's stats. The PDP where rocks meet the sea. We stood there as you I held. Your crust crumbled and your heart melt. The feeling you didn't feel in your eyes gleamed. We compromised, my love and friendship yours. I carried you up Nipinsi floors. We once had our dinner on the road, sat at the garden grounds, met under your house. Roses and poems, untimed kisses, changing buses, walking rains, which grace our meetings, sometimes before, sometimes after, changing routes, lack of direction, the destitute home, the Xerox shop, Ville Parle station, Punjabi food tastes good when I'm with you, our bear hugs, my old house on Jutara, my kindergarten challenges, Don Bosco High, my house, 203 Limited bus stop, bold and beautiful, Santa Barbara, only on Star Plus, BBC and MTV, the American Library, USIS, the Charm Watchman, the Charm Lady, the roadside junk food, Ishkan, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, the boring dance. You shined on that eve. I at my best, black, white black combined, unmerged, white shines most on black. Experiences, diet plans, exercise, greeting cards, beauty parlor, eating safe puri on 8th, sandwich on 6th, Yoko's, bandstand, grape juice, hand in hand. The drive, the song, lure, no commitments, unsure. Fasting religion and vegetarianism, the Dadar Bridge and catching buses, among crowds, among rushes, local trains and rocky terrain. Call it love, call it friendship. Our silent fights survived it all, constant, consistent, without a rise, without a fall. The whispered words, the unsaid look, love, I don't know. A dream called you, losing ain't a crime. Some things last a lifetime. Drenched when your clothes I wore, malaria I sat on your bed. Okay, okay, to the core friends. Some things just don't end. Percentage game 95.5. I am December, you are July. I am winter, your rains. We combine the November rains. Nose bites and hug tights. It's special, wrong or not right. The iced tea, Chuchi. My lioness, my princess. The silent zone, we can't go on. Who knows? Life goes on, love grows. Miracles of love. Wow, that's quite personal. When you read that, you feel that this is somebody's personal journey. And while that is great, and I'm sure that there are some people who like this kind of a lovey-dovey poem, I think that there are at least 10 poems inside this poem, or maybe that's what it's meant to be. It's meant to touch everybody's life with one sentence, and then it just moves on from there. I don't know if the writer or the poet wants to go back to these poems one day and rewrite them as small poems. And when I was doing my creative writing, somebody said that in every poem there should be just one picture, one word image, or one word picture. So I'm not sure. I thought initially that I didn't like it at all, but I guess because I read the other poems that I liked before that, I think I kind of started liking this because I had already started. And it's around 9:20. I'm about to fall asleep because I've not slept all night, and that's just the way my body's functioning these days since I left that school job. But yeah, thank you for listening. Have a nice day. And yeah, if I have any suggestions, I just send it to Mr. Kulin Shah, and he sends it to Sonil Varma, and hopefully sometimes they've taken my suggestions in the past because I remember that Love War in Lemon Ice was a bit of a mess because there was a mistake. There was just one typo. Instead of hey, which means hi, it was her, H-E-R, not H-E-Y. And it was the very first page and it looked horrible. And I felt bad about it. But every now and then we'll feel bad. And I was pretty honest about it. And I guess that they said that they will publish my critical reviews too. And I think that that's fine because they have this big disclaimer in the end saying that all mistakes are mine, all errors are mine. This is written by me. So I guess that they have made fun of the fact that there are errors. And in this day and time now, we live in what is called the text lingo world where we try to text TXT stuff. So a lot of things are changing, but sometimes some errors are glaring errors. And while I'm not very particular, I'm sure that the readers who pay money for the books might be very, very, very slightly offended. But yeah, I've read a few poems today from Love Longings and Long Evenings, and the other one that I can't remember now. But yeah, hope you enjoyed it. Have a nice day. Good night to you.